This week on Wild Talk, this episode is all about angling. I sit down with Ron Fibke from the AYA to chat about the origins and evolution of the AYA and what it means to him to ensure that the next generation of anglers are leaving it better than they found it and why they get hooked and keep returning. I catch up with Mark Harder of Princecraft in partnership with Barry J and Rainbow Marine to chat about their brands, and then Kate Rundle, as always, for our social segment. Get hooked this week on Wild Talk. We are back with more Wild Talk. I'm your host, Steve Hamilton.
We are back at it for another social segment on Wild Talk.
This special episode of Wild Talk is brought to you by Barry J's and Rainbow Marine, featuring Princecraft. Princecraft, the spirit of boating. Aventura, self-heating beverages. Enjoy your adventure with the comfort of a hot drink anywhere, anytime. Hornady, accurate, deadly, dependable. Timber Stoves, the original wood pellet patio heater. And Wild TV Plus, stream the best outdoor adventures on all your favorite devices.
Right on. So we're here at the 2024 AYA. Today's launch is going to happen at the Ben Auger Park. It's an incredibly organized event. They've got the boats all lined up. Everybody's getting their boats in. 70 boats for today. They've got boat concierge to help you launch your boat, get the kids on the water. So we're going to head down, get ourselves in line, and join everybody out for the first shotgun start at 8 o'clock. So you say about 70, 71 people for today?
70 boats.
Yeah,
70 boats for today. So
yeah, and the early bird gets the worm. There's a full launch packed up here about an hour before we get going, eh?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, everybody wants to get in the water. The anticipation grows with every minute.
Is this your first time at the AYA?
This is actually our second year. Last year, I had this little guy Tucker and my other little son Tatum, and they were the youngest anglers last year for their first time. And yeah, we're just out to have fun. Last year we entered our first 3 fish, and I think we ended up in 29th position. So
awesome.
Yeah, we're out just to have a lot of fun today, and that's our goal. Hey, Tuck, you're pretty excited?
Yeah. The boat launch is busy. Everybody's in a happy mood. We're all orderly launching the boats. We've got about a dozen boats in the water already. There'll be 70 boats to launch today with all the families coming out. It's looking to be a great turnout. The weather's just right. It should be an exciting day. Rumor is you guys are last year's winner.
That's right.
The whole crew, the same crew from last year? Yeah. That's fantastic. How many years have you guys been doing it? Third year? Right on. So you've got a game dialed in. You're like playoff contenders. You're going to be there again in the standing. That's an idea? Yeah. What got you guys into coming to the AYA?
Love fishing.
Yeah. And word of mouth. Yeah. Right on.
Usually at the beginning, it's a trickle start, so boat 1 goes, then boat 2, then boat 3, and everyone's flying across the lake. And when I talk to my kids, that's their favorite part about this whole tournament is that start. You're flying across the lake and you're trying to beat the next guy to the spot.
That race.
Race, right? Yeah. That's the exciting part, especially for kids that, maybe they don't fish a lot.
Right.
They're out in the water and they're having a good time, and especially a beautiful day like today where you can really open up the moats and get them going.
Our first 35 boats are here. We're just getting ready for the countdown. There's going to be a countdown and an air horn blast, so everybody's in anticipation. All the engines are idling. Everybody's just sitting here waiting. You can hear everybody, just the silence and the anticipation for the start. It's a beautiful morning. It's just a light chop. There's going to be some fast boats out there. It's going to be exciting. So just any minute now, they're going to give us the heads up of time to go for first flight. So who caught the fish? Nice.
Okay, come over here, mister.
Oh, look at that.
69 and a half, 70.
That'll be good.
Give yourself a quarter turn this way. Yeah.
Oh, like that.
Awesome.
Don't lose it in the water though.
Yeah. So we just drove across the lake in the Princecraft pontoon boat. It's a beautiful drive across here. And we're coming up on the river entrance, and it looks like a lot of the boats on the first flight have decided to put themselves out on the edge here, going after the post-spawn walleye. Looks like we see some jigs going on, some slip bobbers. Everybody's holding. It's looking like it may be a pretty good day. We've already had one fish head back for weigh-in already from one of the boats, and everybody's anticipating and focusing on their game here. It's going to be exciting, so we'll just catch a shot of everything going on here.
Yeah.
Hold it up for the picture.
Is that your fish up, man?
He caught it.
Nice. Look at that smile. That's a
That's the same, he got it.
Smile, look. Got whale in your hands there. Look at that.
Look at the camera. Look it over there.
Who's weighing her? Nice. Big. Nice. How many fish weighed in so far?
Too many. All right, at least.
Nice, really big one.
All right, so we're still here at the mouth. The fishing activity is active. We see lots of fish coming in, and it's been about 30 minutes since we launched, and you can just see the second flight starting to come in as they're coming across the lake. So the next range of boats are going to come in. They're all going to jostle in and find the right spot. This should be a lot of activity today. There's lots of rods bending over. Mark Harder and Kevin Johnson with Fish Knoll here with Wild TV, and we're out here on the Princecraft boat that you guys brought us out here with, and there's two of them out here, one for the weigh station and one for us to come out here and to do this filming and film the event. It's been a beautiful day. You know, tell me a bit about this boat. This is a fantastic rig for a family and for us today to be out on the water.
Yeah, so this is the Princecraft Sportfish 21 4S. The 4S has 4 seats, fishing pedestal seats. It's got a couple live wells. It has a washdown system. This one has a 115 Pro XS motor on it. Great boat for just getting out with the family. Really, that's what Princecraft's all about, is getting families out, getting them on the water. You know, Princecraft talks about the spirit of boating. That's their tagline. And throughout their history, 70 years of making boats here in Canada, they've really focused on getting families out, having that family experience on the water, whether it's out tubing or kneeboarding or fishing or just enjoying the lake. Who got it? You did?
Yeah, I did.
Nice.
We're just wrapping up towards the end of the day. It's just after 12 and it looks like the first boat is coming off from the day of fishing. So it's going to be an exciting time here for us to check in with everybody coming off the water. Right on. So who caught the fish today? Who's got the big one in?
Tucker.
Tucker?
Tucker put
Hey,
down
Tucker.
his little rod, and all of a sudden,
On the little rod
the
too.
little rod. A couple minutes later, and all of a sudden, he had a big fish
Oh,
on.
that's awesome, Tucker. So Tucker, when you caught it, did you know it was going to be a winning fish?
Did you know it was a big fish?
Yeah.
Okay.
Twist pumps. How big was it?
73.
73. Did you know when you said it? Did you know it was going to be a winner?
Kind of.
Yeah.
I don't-
Awesome, guys. That was your fish? Whose fish was it?
Mine.
Nice.
I got a 55 and a. He got a
Nice.
55.0 exactly.
Yeah. How was the day on the water, guys? How was the fishing?
Good, yeah.
Good? And who got the biggest fish in the boat? Nice. How big? As tall as you? 54. Nice. Well, family, I remember seeing you guys out there. You guys had lots of fish on. Who's got the biggest? You? Yeah. And how big?
Well, I got 110 centimeter pike,
Okay.
but obviously can't keep it.
How many years have you guys been coming?
5.
5, yeah? Nice. Well, what brought you here the first time?
We kind of just heard about it.
Nice.
And now we've been there.
You love it, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Raise your hand again to who's a professional angler who landed the big one. Nice.
I got it all on film.
Nice. Who's big fish for the boat today?
I think Abby is today.
Gabby? How big, Gabby?
It was a jackfish.
Yeah,
Jack?
15-pound
Didn't
jack.
count. Didn't count.
It's the only counted, right? See you at the tent.
I'm joined by Mark Harder to chat about Princecraft, Berry Jays, and Rainbow Marine today. Mark, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me, Steve.
I'm excited to learn a little bit more about Princecraft and Berry Jays and Rainbow. So before we dig into that, let's dig into you. Who is Mark Harder?
So I'm based out of Edmonton, Alberta. Born and raised in northern Saskatchewan in a little town called Meadow Lake. Moved to Edmonton to go to school, met my wife, ended up marrying her, and she's from this area, so here's where I live now.
The reason I got you here is I want to talk to you about Princecraft. So let's dig into Princecraft a little bit. How did they come about? And I understand you were just at their factory, so if you want to talk about that.
Sure, yeah. So I got involved with Princecraft actually through Berry Jays, and we'll talk to about them here probably in a little bit. But I've been working with Berry Jays. I bought a boat through them, really liked the folks that were there, and they asked me to help them out, at some events, boat shows and things like that. Because being somebody who fishes a lot, I had a lot of opinions, obviously, on what works and what doesn't work and what I like and why. So I've been working with them for a little bit, and then they came along in conjunction with Princecraft and asked me if I would consider being a pro staff for Princecraft, representing the brand and going out and doing different activities. And at the time I said, I'm not really a tournament fisherman. I'm more of a take the family out, take the kids out, take newbies out and teach them how to fish and that type of thing, which was exactly what Princecraft wanted. They're a very family-focused brand, very focused on getting people into the industry and sport of fishing, getting families out on the water. You see that through a lot of their different product lines that they carry, whether it's pontoons or deck boats or fishing boats. They kind of have a very broad, diverse portfolio of different models. So I got involved with them, that would be probably about 7 years ago or so. Started working with them using different boats of theirs. And as you mentioned, I was out at their factory there last year. I was in Montreal for some personal reasons and decided, hey, it's only a couple hours drive to their factory. They are a Canadian-based brand. They've been in Princeville, Quebec since 1954 when they started. So this year is their 70th year of manufacturing boats here in Canada. Very interesting history, different ownership groups throughout the different years. I think since 2001, they've been part of Brunswick Marine, which owns a lot of different boat manufacturers and Mercury and Upwards and that type of thing.
Right. That makes a lot of sense. And it's always about good products and quality people. And it sounds like Princecraft's got a mix of that. And I love that. But I also want to dig into Berry Jays and Rainbow Marine. You said that's where this partnership with Princecraft first came from. So talk about that a little bit and how that dynamic works.
Sure. Yeah. I had, like most people, I started with a pretty small little boat that I had bought secondhand, and I had a young family and limited budget, and I was working with that. And as the family grew, I have 3 kids now. So, a little tiny boat isn't so great when you got family of 5 in a little boat like that. So I wanted something a little bigger, something with a windshield, something to help. My wife was getting cold, and here I was behind the little side console. So it was good for me. It wasn't as good for her. So in order to get the family out, I started shopping around and started going to Berry Jays just because of the selection they had at the time. They were carrying a few different brands, Princecraft being one of them, and ended up purchasing a boat through them. Used it for the summer. It came back at the end of the year to get my stuff for my maintenance, and when I walked in, the head guys there all knew my name still. I hadn't seen them since the spring, right? They knew my name. They remembered the boat that I had bought. They were very, very helpful, and it was at that time that I said, hey, these are guys that you know, they care about me, they're taking care of their product, they know their customer, they remember, you know, what's important. And so I wanted to partner alongside an organization like that, and started talking to them about helping out at different events and different things, and that kind of grew from there.
Let's talk about the AYA and that partnership. That's all about getting the youth on the water. So again, how did that come up?
Yeah, so shortly after I became pro staff with Princecraft and Barry Jays, there's another pro staff over at Barry Jays with Lund. His name's Ron Fibke, and I think you guys have chatted with him before. He's still around, still running this AYA tournament that he got involved with when his kids were young, and then he started running that tournament for the last number of years, and does an excellent job on it. You know, the amount of organization that he does ahead of time and behind the scenes, and getting all these prizes. And so he came over to me and said, hey, you know, you got little kids, you should really be in this tournament. You should come join this tournament. And as I mentioned, I'm not really much of a tournament guy, but I thought, hey, you know, it's good for the kids. The kids are going to have a good time, so let's go try this thing. We'll do it once. Well, we entered it in our Princecraft boat and ended up winning it that first year, right? And ever since then, my kids were hooked. And, you know, that was, I think, 2018 that we entered it. The kids were all over it. From then on, they were, when are we going? When are we going? You know, at the end of the day, regardless of where you place in that tournament, everybody wins prizes.
What I want to know is, why is it so important for yourself and Princecraft and Rainbow and Barry Jays to work with the AYA?
When you start thinking about the sport of fishing, I mentioned, you know, growing up, I went fishing with my dad and my grandpa, and I think a lot of folks, if you talk to people that are engaged in outdoor pursuits, it's often very closely tied with family, whether it was an immediate family member or maybe an uncle or an aunt or a grandma or a grandpa or somebody that got you out into the outdoors doing whatever it was, whether it was fishing, whether it was hunting, whether it's hiking, it doesn't seem to matter. It's usually a family member that had an interest and a passion that got you interested in it, right? So just seeing kids get really into the outdoors and get really engaged with it is really why I wanted to be involved. And as I mentioned, Princecraft has always been focused on getting families out there. So it really aligns very well with what Princecraft likes to do and wants to do for the industry.
I love that, and I think that's a perfect way to end it. Kids and sustainable use of our outdoor spaces are our future, and without them and partnerships like yourself and Barry Jays, Rainbow, and Princecraft and AYA, we're so thankful for all that you guys do to get kids on the water. So thanks for joining me today, Mark.
Thanks for having me, Steve.
Hello there, and welcome back to Wild Talk. I'm Kate Rundle, here to present an all-new segment featuring bizarre moments captured while out on the water. For this week's episode, we fished around for some funny and wicked moments to show you in 3, 2, 1.
Come on, fishy, come on, fishy, come on, fishy, come on, fishy. Just take the f***ing bait.
Stop. Go. See if it bites again. You got one?
You never know what kind of footage you can reel in when angling. If you have any moments caught on camera of crazy animals in the wild, fire them over to us at wildtalk@wildtv.ca or slide into our DMs. Your content could end up on future episodes of Wild Talk. Until then, stay wild, friends.
Right on. Thank you. Now,
The prizes and stuff, yeah?
yeah, now have a look.
Oh, look at
See, it's full right to the roof, huh?
Uh-huh. Sweet.
So
This prizes, they come from donation, or is that from
donations and sponsorship.
and sponsorship? Nice.
Yeah.
Now is
we
that
raise-
sponsorship money and you go shopping, or those
Yes.
guys are providing those prizes directly?
No, we go shop.
Nice. Nice. So how many kids in the tournament? How many boats registered this year?
It looks like it's going to 69. So don't know the total number of the kids registered.
Right. 69 boats, and then whatever they registered.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, right on.
So you gotta have mom and dad or a parent or maybe one or two kids. So
Right.
we give out an award for the youngest angler. A few years ago, we gave her the money. Just look, what's this for? She's just like, what do I do? And then we started to clap.
Yes, and I'm sponsoring second prize this year. So
Nice.
10 combos for 10 rods and reels. There's a couple of rods by themselves, and then everything on the field. $2,500 retail.
That's second prize.
Second prize. Second
So
place.
did they get 10 combos for second place? Is
They
that-
get everything here for second place.
That's actually awesome. So what made you want to come to the event? What was inspired you to come join it?
Youth, the kids.
Good kids? Yeah.
Yeah, the kids. That fires me up. Kevin and I enjoy it. So it's good to see the kids so excited. And you know what? When they you give them a rod to use, and a lot of them have their stuff. They don't want to take it, but we'll keep coming for this. Like as long as Ron's doing it or whoever's doing it, if this is where it is, it's easy. And you know what? From a brand perspective, it's important for us to be involved.
So we're down here at the volunteer tents when you guys are.
Elizabeth?
Elizabeth? Yeah.
I'm Alicia.
Alicia. And so how long have the two of you been involved with the AYA?
About since I was 7.
7. How old are you now?
19.
19. Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah.
And so have you guys also fished the AYA before in the past?
Yeah.
Nice. Going in the future, what do you guys see for yourselves in the AYA going into the future?
Helping out for now, and
Yeah.
then I'm not too sure what else.
My sisters are still fishing, so I'm
Nice.
going to be coming up every year doing this while they go fish.
Nice.
Yep.
Are they fishing today too right now? Are they
Yeah,
out on
right
the water?
now.
Nice, so they've got a boat out there too,
Yeah.
right? So Mark, the bird says that you're the longest serving member of the AYA volunteer group here that Supplement's put together. That's an incredible accomplishment. Do you have any fantastic memories that over the years, real particular memorable ones that you like to share?
I fished with my son, and we came in second. Ronnie beat us out, like by 1 ounce or something.
Yeah, nice. What do you think is the thing that makes this tournament different than all the other tournaments that are held in the province?
I'm not sure why. We have way more people. Participation is
Yeah, you're
phenomenal over here. You go down south, they have 20 boats, maybe 30. Here we could have 100.
So what do you think you see AYA and yourself in the future here? It's, what do you think is the next
We need
steps?
Younger generation to take it over.
Yeah.
That's where we need to go.
It's,
I have nephews that might take it over. Well, we're all from here, so hopefully that's their job next year.
Right on.
You know, you guys should be really proud of what you guys done there, and I heard a lot of good stories about a lot of the kids catching the big fish too, so give your kids a good pat on the back. It's amazing what you guys have been doing. Okay, should we get started, or do you guys want to tell me a story or something? Did a big one get away from anybody? Okay. I can't read the names. I'm just kidding. So then we're going to start. What you see here is 69th place. So 69th place was boat 55, Elle, Kale, and Grayson. Boat 55 here. No, boat 55.
All right, we're back with another exciting episode of Wild Talk. This is going to be a fun one. It's about getting anglers and youth out on the water. I am joined by Ron Fibke from the AYA. Thanks for joining me today, Ron.
Hey, thanks for having me, Steve.
If I get the acronym right, it's the Angler and Young Angler Alberta Tournament, right?
Well, it's AYA for the short acronym, but it's actually Angler, Young Angler, Northern Alberta.
Okay. So what was the original catalyst for this? I believe it was 1998 that it went back to.
Yeah. So back in the day, Lund president Andrew Kopak, he had 2 young children, and he was a tournament guy that went around all around Ontario, Manitoba, all in that area, Saskatchewan, and he fished tournaments. So whatever marketing plan they came up with back in 1998, it was basically all the dads that had kid was gone all summer and never had to spend any time with their kids. So they generated a tournament, and it was always originally 1 adult, like a dad and 2 kids. That was what it was first made out to be. So for years, it was only 3 people allowed in the boat. So the reason that this AYA started to explode a little bit more is I kind of opened it up a little bit different. Instead of keeping that format, a lot of the dads were saying, well, my one son is 10 and my daughter's 4, and it's really hard for me to fish. Can the mom come on board? So it was like, as soon as I opened it up to more of a family event where the wife, or sometimes we have a different combination, 2 dads and 2 boys, or we may have 2 dads and 3 children, whatever it is. As long as they keep to the rule where there's only 3 fishing rods allowed in the water at one time, we can have a pontoon boat full of a family. It wouldn't have mattered to me. So it really grew when you started opening it up to the family.
I love that. It's all about getting kids on the water and bringing that family element to it. You mentioned three rods in the water. So what do the teams look like then? Like how does that demographic work?
So the majority of the teams are a mother and a father with 2 children. So I'd say one of the 70 teams, there's probably at least 15 like that. Then you have grandparents taking their grandchildren. Then you also have a lot of the dads. There's only really 2. I think was only 2 teams this year that only had 2 people in the boat, 1 dad and 1 child. And but other than that, most of the time you have 3 or 4 kids in the boat with 2 adults or something like that. But it kind of changed. It's really I'm really seeing an influx of the daughters coming, like the girls. I mean, I could probably say there's at least 25 teams that are either mixed or just two female, 2 daughters or 2 friends on the water. But yeah, it's the prizes that we get they're just either or. There's no difference if it's a boy or a girl, right? It's fishing rods, it's tackle bags, it's drones, it's everything geared to be outside. So I don't do any video games or electronic. The only electronic that I usually buy are aquaviews, and aquaviews are so they can go ice fishing and see the fish under the water, right? So everything comes from bean bags to water balloons to just you name it. You'd have to see the prize selection and you'd be like, holy cow. So yeah, it's quite impressive.
So what are the prizes like then? You kind of got me triggered there. You're talking about water balloons and all that. So what do the main prizes look like usually?
So if we go with first place is a boat, motor, and trailer. Sponsored by Princecraft. So it's a 12-foot Princecraft with, I think it was a 5-horse Merc with a marathon trailer. Usually about the top 10 are really good. I gave away a couple of trampolines, hockey nets, axe throwing games like the ones at Costco. You see those plastic axe throwing games, a lot of that type of stuff.
Let's get into the tournament itself. What kind of fish or does it change depending on your lake?
So we target walleye. That's just the fish that we target. Every one of the guys that are fishing that lake target walleye, and a lot of them fish tournaments with me alongside of myself. So again, I mean, they catch 100 walleye in a day. So you can imagine how busy it is with 3 rods in the water. Most of the time, the dads don't even fish, or the the adult doesn't fish. I can tell you a great story that happened this year. So we had two young anglers. It was boat number 8. And the reason I know it was boat number 8 is because they finished 8th place. So boat number 8, they had a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old, just two little boys. And what I heard from people that were fishing around him is the little boy had a little Snoopy rod. So he had a little Snoopy rod, and he caught a 73 centimeter walleye.
Yeah, I heard a little snippet of this.
The dad was holding him by his life jacket at the front of the boat, and the little boy was just going like this as quick as he could go and turning up the drag, and finally he caught that walleye by himself. So can you imagine at 5 years old, already your personal best walleye is an 8-pound walleye? Like,
ruined.
Who does that? So this kid's going to be amazing. I mean, all the kids are amazing, but this kid is going to be an extra amazing person angler if he continues with that, right? What we're going to do here is maybe something a little different. These two young fellers are probably the youngest angler, I would think. And they caught a fish, an 8.79 pound walleye. And I heard the story, and maybe what I can do is have them tell, but what I heard is the young guy had one of those rods that we were giving away, those little baby rods there, and Dad was holding them on the front of the boat or maybe the back of the boat, and the young guy was just giving her, and I think he did it all himself. So boat number 8. What we used to do is we always used to give $100 to the youngest angler. So who's the youngest, yeah? Okay, take some pictures. Awesome job, guys. Hey, good job. So now that we know that there's basically 3 teams left, we can probably get them up here so we don't have to call them and they have to do the walk. So we get the 3 teams. So we have Mark and his family, we got Sarah and his family, and we got Graham and his family. So again, we have repeating guys here from last year. So obviously he said he's top 3, so that's great. And then we got Mark's been here well, you guys have been here forever too. Everybody's been here. Steve, do you want to come and stand up here too, just to represent second place? Mark, come and represent. So you're going to represent Princecraft. So first place, I'm going to represent third place. So should we just shuffle around and then do like a merry-go-round, or what do we want to do here?
Rock, paper, scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors? That's the way we decide. Well, good job, guys. Third place is a great showing, so congratulations. Come on down, second place and first place. We'll just stand over by this guy. Okay, we'll stand up. Okay. So, a little story here about Mark. Mark called me at about 10 after 8. 10 after 8, he's like, where's the weigh boat? I'm like, well, the weigh boat's still here. He said, well, I just got a tank. And then I think you guys might have caught a first fish too within 15, 20 minutes. Great fishing. And I mean, I think everybody talks here, and I almost think that he already knows where he's standing. He already knows where he's standing. So congratulations to first place team, the Iversons, and Mark and his family in second place.
All right, the 2024 AYA first place champions, the 2024 AYA second place champions here, third place winners of the 2024 AYA, and actually you guys were last year's first place winners. So who's the guy who caught the big fish? Me. And you're Matthew, right?
Yeah.
All right, Matthew, congratulations. So tell me, what's the story?
Just like any other fish, I was jigging and then bit the hook.
You just took it and made it take it home, right? You brought it in the boat, and that was the one. Right on. And the team supported. Who ran net? Who was running boat?
He was running the net.
Yeah.
He actually missed it on the first scoop, but got the second one.
So he got him in. So it was almost the got away, and that turned into the winner, right? Awesome. I want to tell who caught the big fish.
So that was me.
That was you. Wonderful. So what's the story leading up to it? What was the one when the big fish hit the line?
Well, so we knew the spot we wanted to go to, so we had it all picked out, and we headed straight there first thing. We caught a couple of fish right off the bat. And then when we got that one, we knew it was a good fish right away. And then Merrick here grabbed the net.
Running support on net, getting it in. Nice.
So we got it up, and we hadn't seen it yet. It was taking some line off, and then when it finally surfaced, we knew we had, we knew we had a contender. Yeah, it was a good fought, or good fighting fish. So and then we got it up to the boat. It took a couple of tries. It took some line and went, and then he netted it up. And
fantastic.
Off we went.
So you guys are pros at it now. You've been in here for how many years now? Third year. So third year and 2 prize-winning places in the boat years. You guys are awesome. You must be super excited about it.
I think this is our 4th year.
Your 4th year, right on.
Yeah.
So,
6.
5 years.
5 years now, right? So 5 years in returning. So is this obviously this being a childhood win? This is one of the big things that you remember about it. But is there other big memories you have about AYA that keeps you coming back?
It's the fun, right?
Yeah.
It's just fun.
Just love fishing.
Yeah, that's a fantastic way.
Prizes are excellent.
Yay!
People are good. Fishing's great.
The whole week. We come for the week ahead of time and fish. Come with great friends. They put on a great event. We have a wonderful time.
Awesome.
But probably the best memory. The first year, our big fish, he caught it, and he was laying in the front of the boat in a sleeping bag. It was cold, so I had to tell him to get out of the sleeping bag, go get it. Good job, guys.
Why, outside the obvious, why is it so important to introduce young anglers to fishing, in your thoughts?
You know, that's a good question. The way that I always see bringing the young people into the industry is it only fuels, the conservation side. So a lot of times with AYA, it's almost like a little bit of a demonstration for the young anglers. So not only is it competitive, but at least they learn how to handle fish properly. They know what happens when you catch them too deep. Yeah, I mean, they start to get the bends. So the biggest thing for me is just the conservation and bringing them in, being well aware of seeing the pristine lake that we have, the forest all over, and get them out of the jungle. The concrete jungle that we have here. When we're at the barbecue and we're at the lake, everybody there is so respectful of everything. They pick up any garbages there. They put it in the garbage. Just that type of ethics for children. I think that is more where, you're going out, you're camping, you're being in the great outdoors, you're being respectful to the environment. I don't think you could ask for anything more from your child to respect nature. It's just a good work ethics for the children to learn. So I think it brings them through life as well.
Yeah, it's about more than the fishing rod, right? Let's talk about prizing. We talked about the big prizes, but I heard that everybody that registers gets a prize.
So picture a enclosed trailer. So I don't know how many cubic feet that would be, but picture 14 feet long by, I guess it would be 7 feet high and 7 feet wide. So the prizes were stacked to the roof. I just keep stacking it on top, right? And then I try to buy lighter prizes towards the end because the trailer gets pretty heavy. The tires are they're like this, and they move down a couple of inches, and I can feel I have a 16-foot V-nose aluminum trailer, which is very light for my half ton to pull. When it's full, you got a load, right? It's wanting to push me down the road, right? So
yeah, you're hoping the DOT doesn't see you squatting or think you're overloaded. And
so
I love that. I always find that organizations and companies are so supportive of the kids and love that. It's a great problem to have. You've got to have anglers, young kids that have, for lack of a better term, aged out they can't participate in the tournament anymore that want to take part. So is that something you see a lot of?
I don't see an overabundance of it, but I do see a few coming back to volunteer. Two of their volunteers were past participants. Then what you normally see is when they age out, it's more grandchildren coming in. So same family, but just more so with grandchildren coming in.
Do we even get into the ages of the kids that are allowed in this tournament?
So the ages, it's designed to be 1 adult and 2 youths under the age of 17.
Okay.
So the majority, I mean, yes, we had a 3 and a 5-year-old. That is very uncommon to have two small children on one boat. But most of the age class, I want to say, is anywhere between that 8 to 14. And then you'll have a couple of the teams that are, oh, this is my last year. Oh, this is my last year. And then the next year comes,
you see him again.
Their partners last year, but oh yeah, my little brother is now going to fish it, or they always find somebody.
But what was the biggest fish overall?
So the biggest fish overall was 78 centimeters, so 781 millimeters. We do everything by the millimeters just because
makes sense.
To the fish have to be a slot. So if we round it up to the nearest centimeter, everybody would have the same weight.
Right.
So we do everything to the millimeter. So when they stand over that dockmaster and he touches the nose on that bump board and sweeps the tail, everybody gets to look at everything. And then if it's 489 millimeters, and they call it right there. So the 78.1 or 781 millimeter walleye was 10.17 pounds converted on the Alberta chart.
That's a tank. Like that's a decent sized salmon from the ocean.
Right. So, I mean, that was beautiful. And the good thing last year, we only had 2 fish over the 70 centimeter mark. This year we had 15 walleye over the 70 centimeter mark.
Unreal.
So we're really starting to see this lake take off for some big fish.
Even with that sort of pressure, which is a legit question a lot of people have, is how are some of these smaller lakes sustainable? And that just shows it right there that if you've really seen that much of an explosion, you're fishing well within sustainability, which again is so important for conservation and leaving it better for the future. So where can people find out more information about AYA and how can they get involved?
The one thing that you can check on is Facebook. Facebook, it's underneath Angler, Young Angler, Northern Alberta.
Awesome. I think that's perfect way to end it. Ron, huge thanks for all that you do for not only the tournament, but for young anglers and getting people on the water. So we can't wait to see what you do with this in the future, and we'll see you next time on Wild Talk.
Awesome. Thanks, Steve.
This special episode of Wild Talk is brought to you by Barry Jays and Rainbow Marine, featuring Princecraft. Princecraft, the spirit of boating. Aventura, self-heating beverages. Enjoy your adventure with the comfort of a hot drink anywhere, anytime. Hornady, accurate, deadly, dependable. Timber Stoves, the original wood pellet patio heater. And Wild TV Plus, stream the best outdoor adventures on all your favorite devices.